I am Dr. Basaraj, Professor in Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, St. Peter Engineering College, Hyderabad. In this video lecture, I am going to explain about the data link layer and its functions. So basically, data link layer of two types: logical link control sublayer and media access control sublayer. Let us see one by one. Data link layer, it is a second layer in OSI model. As we know, it is a second layer in OSI reference model. Its main responsibility of data link layer is to transfer the data from one node to the next node in a network. It performs the following functions. Those are framing the data which it is going to receive from network layer from its top. It frames. It is going to add the source and destination physical address, and also it is going to add the error control bits, that is called framing. Then it is also going to detect the error. See, while transferring the data, the error going to occur, that can be detected by data link layer, and also it is going to correct it. Then flow control, it is a mechanism, the flow between one node to next node, the speed mismatch, buffer capacity, all is going to be controlled by the flow control. So now let us see the responsibilities of data link layer. Here let us see the data, suppose wants to transfer from the node in a network A to network B. For example, A4 is a node, it wants to send the data to the B1 in the network B. Say it won't transfer directly from A4 to the B1. A4 is one network and B1 is another network. See, first this will data is going to transfer from A4 to the next node, then from that another node. See here, the data link layer responsibility is to take care the data transmission from one node to its next node, not complete from source to destination. That is the main function of the data link layer. Now let us see the functions of data link layer. It is, as I said, it is the main function is to hope delivery from one node to its next node, delivery of the data. Then flow control in a data transfer. So it's going to synchronize the data transfer from one node to its next node. Then error control, it is going to detect an error and also correct an error. It is called error control. And access control. Access control is nothing but, if it is a shared transmission media, then more than one nodes can send the data. That access path can be controlled by the data link layer. Then physical address. Here data link layer is going to add the physical address of the source device and also the destination device, its physical address of 48 bits. Then framing, as I said, here data is framed. First there are 7 bytes preamble bits will be added. The next there is a 1 byte of delimiter. Then after that the destination node address, then source node address, then length count, the number of bytes to be transferred from source to destination is how many bytes to be transferred, that length count will be stored in this 2 byte. Then data to be transferred, that is 46 bytes to 1500 bytes. Then padding, means it is optional, it will be maybe if it is required can be added. Then CRC bits, cyclic redundant check bits will be added, it is of 4 bits. So this is the actual data frame of a data link layer. The data link layer is going to frame a data before to send from one node to next node. Then error detection and correction, as we said, there is an error to be corrected. See, before to correct an error, we need to detect an error. Once we detect an error, then easily we can correct it. See, error detection is the ability to detect the presence of errors caused by noise during transmission from transmitter to the receiver. See, error correction maybe like send additional information, so incorrect data can be transmitted. See, along with data, some more bits can be sent, that is called the error detection bits. Okay, once it will be error detected, then correction can be done by retransmitting the data from source can be done. Let us see how. See, in the diagrammatic view here, the first is the data. Okay, we are not going to send directly the data. Along with the data, we are going to send some additional information, that is for error detection purpose. So, we add some more informations, the additional bits, that is called error detection check bits, and those will be sent along with the data. While traveling the data, so the error may occur, that can be detected the receiver side. Once again the data and error detection bits will be checked. If all bits in the data is okay, then that will be received, otherwise it will be rejected. Error detection methods. There are different error detection methods. Here we have parity checking, checksum error detection method, cyclic redundancy check method. See, these are the three main error detection methods: parity checking, checksum error detection, and cyclic redundancy check. So, let us see one by one. Parity error check. See, in this parity error check, first we see the data, the number of ones in a data. See, here there are two types of parity error checking methods. One is even parity, another one is odd parity. Here an example we have considered an even parity. It means that the number of ones we need to count in the data and add the parity bit, so that all the number of ones including parity bits become even. So, it is called even parity bit. See, here first sender is going to send a data 1000011. This is the data to be transferred from one node to next node. Then we have to generate a parity bit. How we can generate? First you have to check the number of ones in the data. Okay, including parity bit, number of ones should become even. So, here we have considered even parity. So, here 1 is added because in the data we have 3 number of ones, 3 is an odd. So, to make even number of ones, parity bit will be added 1. So, if you count number of ones including data and parity, so number of ones becomes even. Here you count the number of ones, data bits, data consists of 3 bits and parity is 1 bit 1. So, total number of ones become even. So, we are going to call it as a even parity. So, data with parity bit. So, it will be sent from the sender and is transmitted through a transmission media and it will received at the receiver. See, there may be chances of occurring an error, changing 1 to 0, 0 to 1. Say any one bit if changes occur, it could be able to detect at the receiver side. So, it will receive the data at the receiver side and compute the parity, the number of ones at the received. If it is even, okay, fine, whatever data sent from the sender side, it is same, no change. If it is number of ones are not even, there is a error in the data. So, it should be rejected. So, this is how the parity error check will be done. Then checksum. Next is the checksum. Here in the checksum, the data is divided in terms of segments. Okay. Each is of 1 byte. Here example, we have a 4 bytes of data. It is to be transferred from source to destination. So, what we can do here, we have divided as a 4 segments. Each is of 8 bits or 1 byte, we say. This is the original data to be transferred from sender side. See, each byte will be added. See, look at here, that is the first byte is 1001 and 1001. Yeah, I written 1001, 1001. Will be added with the second byte. 111 0, then 0010. Yeah, 111 0 0010 added. Just 101 011 0 00 101 101 011 011 1 plus 1 some 0 carry 1. This carry has to be added at the LSB bit. So 1 plus 1 some 0 carry 1, 1 plus 1 some 0 carry 1. Yeah, 1 plus 0 1 1 1 1 1 0. So next third byte will be added. Then with this result the fourth byte will be added. So here carry will be generated, that will be added, fourth byte added. So at the end we are going to get a sum. For that we need to take once again 1's complement. So what happens? See here, 1 becomes 0, 0 become 1, 1 becomes 0, 0 become 1, 0 become 1, 1 become 0, 0 become 1, 0 become 1. See, we got, this is called checksum bit. This has to be added along with the data bits. The 4 bytes of data along with this checksum bits will be added. This last 110 11010 is a checksum bit. So now at the receiver side, once again we are going to add similarly the received data, that is 4 bytes of data. We are going to add 1 plus second byte, first byte and second byte, and similarly we got then with the third byte and fourth byte. After adding, see the checksum what we are sending from the source side will be added. See here 1101 1010. So after adding we are going to get a result after adding the checksum. Then we need to take 1's complement. Once again you take the 1's complement. So here all bits become 0. If all bits become 0 after taking 1's complement, then the data sent from the source side is error free. No error in the data. Okay, this is how we are going to detect an error. If other than 0 bits, if you received at the destination, then there is a data has been occurred while traveling the informations. Okay. So next let us see cyclic redundancy check. This is another method to detect an error. See here the sender is going to be send data with the CRC bits, cyclic redundancy check bits. So you need to generate that CRC bits for that data, and here we are going to append the number of bits as zeros. 0 bits will be added. So how many bits to be added? That is the number of bits divisor we are going to use. If you are using divisor 4 bits, then 3 bits zeros will be added at the beginning along with the data. So that become the dividend. You take the divisor and divide with the dividend, and we get the remainder that become the CRC, cyclic redundancy check, and the data with this CRC will be added, and that become the at the receiver side as a dividend. So whatever the data and CRC, so generated CRC will be added, that will be sent to the destination. At the receiver side, the data with CRC become the dividend, and divisor is once again same as we are going to use at the sender side, and here we are going to divide, and finally we are going to get a remainder. If remainder is 0, then there is no error. If remainder is not 0, there is an error has been occurred while traveling the data from source to destination. Let us see with an example here. Here I took an example data as 100 100. This is the data 10 100 and 100 as the data. Here we are going to use the 4 bits divisor. So that is the reason first we are going to append 3 zeros after this data bits. So the total it becomes the dividend. Here already we have 6 bits of data and 3 bits of zeros were added, total 9 bits of data, that become dividend, and 4 bits that is as a divisor. So now we have to divide with this 4 bits to this dividend. So here 1 by 1, 1101 1101, and here we have to use the XOR function. So here 11 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. So now we have to take this 0 and once again you do 1101 1101. So like this we are going to get 0 you have to take once again, then here you have to take 1 0. So once again here you take 0. So we are not sufficient with 0. Yeah, once again we have to another 1 0 we have to add 1101. So finally we are going to get a remainder as 001. We are going to get a remainder as 001 and this 001 becomes the CRC bits. So here while sending the data, this becomes 100 100 and 001. See, look at the dividend here. This is the data it is sent from the source side, that become the dividend at the receiver side, and same divisor 1101 we are going to use here at the destination side. So once again we have to do the division. So 1101 use the XOR function, we are going to get 0 once again, 1. So repeat the process. Okay, similarly you have to repeat the process until to complete the division till the last bits. Then finally we are going to get all the bits as zeros. It means that there is no error occurred at the while transmitting the data from source to destination. Is a network protocol is nothing but carrier sends multiple access with collision detection. Is a network protocol used to detect the collision over a common communication path. It sends the whether the shared channel for transmission is busy or not and postpone the transmission until the channel is free. See, this protocol basically we are going to use if the more than one node is going to share a common path while transmitting the data from one to other. So in that situation we are going to use another one protocol to detect error or the path is free. Once path free starts transmitting, if more than one station start transmitting, there may be chances of collision of error, collision. Once collision occur, then it is going to retransmit the data. See here the collision detection technology detects collision by sensing transmission from other stations. On detection of collision, the station stops. Once the collision will occur, the station stops transmitting and sends a jump signal, so that other stations know that there is a collision has been occurred. They have to stop their transmission. Here the algorithm is explained how this is going to work. See, first when a frame is ready, is going to check is it the channel is free. The station first, before to transmit the data, once the data is ready to send then it is going to check the channel, is it channel is free. If the channel is busy, the station has to wait until the channel becomes free or idle. So if the channel is become free, the station starts sending the data continuously and monitors the channel collision detection also. Not only just transmitting, while transmitting it is also going to detect the channel detection, and it is going to detect the collision in the channel. Once the collision is detected, starts the collision resolution algorithms. See, once the collision is occurred, it is going to go for the stops transmitting, and it has to wait. That now many number of times to be waited, that will be taken care by another one algorithm, that is called collision resolution algorithm. Once collision occur, that has been resolved with the help of another algorithm. It is called the collision resolution algorithm. Okay. The station reads the transmission counters. I mean, the station resets the transmission counters and completes the frame transmissions. So, how that collision resolution is going to take place means, the station continues transmission of the current frame for a specified time along with a jump signal to ensure that all other stations detect collision. Once the collision occurs, it is going to send a jump signal. The other stations will come to know that, yeah, there is a collision has been occurred. The station increments its retransmission counter. There is one counter has been used. How many times to be checked? Is it the channel is free? Number of times it will be set. Okay, few number of times it will be set. If the maximum number of retransmission attempts is reached, then the station aborts the transmission. Okay, it will not do infinite number of times. Otherwise, stations has to wait for a backup period. Is nothing but there is a number, the time threshold time has been given, that much of time it has to wait, and then start transmitting. Okay, it go for main program. See, let us see the flow chart here. Start CSMA CD algorithm, initialize the retransmission counter, how many times it has to be retransmit. If collision occur, that counter has been initialized as 0. Then accept prepared program for transmission. Now it starts for transmission. If channel is free, yes, start data transmission. If channel is not free, then it is once again is gone in a loop. Go up and check is it channel is free. Okay. Then once channel is free, of course, it starts transmission. There is no any collision. Okay, transmission is going to be done. Okay, transmission is successful. If there is an error occurred, in the, I mean, collision. Error means here we are saying that collision occur if more than one station starts trending at the same time. Once collision occurred, then it is going to send a jump signal. Then it's the timer is going to be initialized with the number of times to be that retransmission going to take place. Then here, you know, if that number of times is retransmission is takes place, then abort the transmission. Otherwise, what it will going to do, it compute the time and wait for that time. Okay, and go on check is it channel is free. Okay, that is retransmission amount is go on check. If it is the limits exceed the limit, it stop transmission. This is how is going to work this CSMA CD algorithm. See, I can brief it, this CSMA CD. See, this CSMA CD is carrier sense multiple axis collision detections. Carrier sense means the path. It is going to sense is it free. Multiple axis means more than one node is going to access the same path. If it is channel is free, starts transmission until there is no collision occurs. Once collision occur, is going to send a jump signal. Is going to send a jump signal so that other station should know that, yeah, there is an collision has been occurred. That has to wait. They need not to send the signal, new data. They need not to send any of the stations. So, how many times it has to wait? As it is given the threshold number of times to be checked, according to that it is going to check. Still it is a busy, stop transmissions and go, start from the main, once again reset. Otherwise, it has to check the number of times, every times the counter update and check is it channel is free. Okay. Meanwhile, if it is free, starts transmission. This is how this CSMA CD is going to work in a network. Is going to send the data from one to other node if the channel is common. Okay.